Hello, my name is Holden Hardman, and I'm here today with my friend Jeremy Brandt from Be Terrible. Today we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite movies of 2018. So there are a lot of videos that are talking about their favorite movies. We'll probably have a little overlap because we did each separate list and a couple honorable mentions. So we'll go ahead. You want to start us off? What was your 5th favorite movie?
Number 5 on my list is going to be, and I don't even know if you saw this one, Bad Times at the El Royale.
I did not see it. I had planned to see it for forever, and I just never did. But
Okay, so it's a really cool movie that was directed by Drew Goddard. He was responsible for Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
That movie sat on shelves for years, so this is his follow-up to that film.
yeah, why did I think Joss Whedon did Cabin in the Woods?
He wrote it.
Oh, he wrote it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why.
absolutely. So this movie it's smart. It does feel like he's kind of riffing on Quentin Tarantino. It's got that 70s flavor to it. Lots of dialogue, lots of really larger-than-life characters. Chris Hemsworth kills it in it. And I just, as you guys see as we go along the list, a lot of these are just movies I want to share with you guys that maybe you didn't see. And then obviously we've got some of the ones that you and I saw together that we love. Some movies are just undeniably good. So that's my number 5.
Number 5 for me was Operation Finale.
I didn't see that.
Well, that's good because now there's, but it takes place during World War II or post World War II. This group of Jews tries to capture this Nazi, one of the leaders of a Nazi camp, and they capture him, and then they try and give a trial in Israel for his crimes during the Holocaust.
So is it slow, or would you think it's engaging all the way through?
I don't know if it's for everybody. I'll say that. But for me, I just loved it. I loved the way that they handled it. That's obviously based on a true story. They showed some footage of the actual trial in Israel. The real guy had to be in a bulletproof glass case on trial.
Number 4, A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
Is that on your list of honorable mentions? Did it make it in anywhere?
It's on my honorable mentions. Yeah.
So A Quiet Place is a movie that, upon kind of revisiting, it's got some really bad plot decisions in it. Like
what do
if
you
you
mean?
can yell under the waterfall, live under the waterfall. Just little things. But that said, it's so well directed. And horror movies do not have the kind of performances that A Quiet Place did.
Yeah.
John Krasinski, this is his directorial debut. You may know him as Jim from The Office. He's an incredibly talented dude. His real-life wife, Emily Blunt, plays his wife in the movie. It creates just really good tension throughout, and you emotionally get invested in the characters, whereas something like Halloween, which was a great movie that came out this year, did a good job of fleshing out its characters as well. A lot of times, horror movies, you're just kind of counting down the minutes till the next person dies, and then in other successful horror movies, Halloween included, you don't want to see these characters go because you actually care about them. So I think A Quiet Place was really well executed.
Number 4 for me was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh man.
There's just something about watching Rami Malek recreate, especially the Live Aid concert. I don't know if you've seen on YouTube somebody compare, put them side by side, but it is just so
uncanny.
Close.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you got?
My turn for number 3?
Number 3.
All right. Black Klansman. Did you see it?
I actually did not see it.
Oh, man. It is so good. I mentioned Bad Times at the El Royale, kind of feeling like Quentin Tarantino riff. Spike Lee has been outspokenly critical of Quentin Tarantino for years, for obvious reasons. He loves to use the N-word in his scripts. And what's ironic is I think Spike Lee kind of uses it for laughs throughout this movie as well. But it's kind of a modern take on the blaxploitation genre. Adam Driver's performance and, forgive me, but Denzel Washington's son, they're both so good in it. And then Topher Grace actually plays David Duke, who's like the grand dragon of the KKK.
Yeah.
It is funny, it is cool, and it is just like effortlessly enjoyable. The music in it, it's just, man, it was so good.
Number 3 for me was Black Panther and Deadpool 2. I couldn't decide between the two of them. I loved both of them. They're both obviously superhero movies, so I'm able to kind of get away with the cop-out because they're the same sort of genre.
If you insist.
But I love them both. Incredibly entertaining. Black Panther especially incredibly relevant in culture.
Yes.
And just a good movie anyway. Deadpool 2, hilarious. I can't get enough of Deadpool.
Number 2 is Annihilation.
Was that with Natalie Portman?
It's Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Oscar Isaac. It's
Oscar Isaac's been on fire recently.
Right?
Yeah.
It's been a good year for that man. A good couple of years for him. And what I like so much about Annihilation is in a world where people are so caught up on diversity and let's take a movie like Ghostbusters and do it with an all-female cast, Annihilation never makes a thing about it.
Yeah,
it never
just is.
It just is. And it's not in a way that it's distracting. It doesn't feel like it was meeting some sort of status quo, but Alex Garland is the director that was responsible for Ex Machina, which happened to be one of my favorite movies of that year as well. I think it's a thinking man's science fiction. I don't know if you knew this, the Shimmer, which is this region that alters your biological makeup, or anything living in the Shimmer is altered genetically. And in the novel that this is based on, it all takes place on Blackwater River. So it's literally right here on top of us.
Number 2 for me. I don't know if you'll agree with this or not. This is just one that personally for me, I just really enjoy. I've watched it about 1 million times. Ready Player One.
Oh man, it's fun.
I love that movie. I don't know. I watched it a couple times in theaters. Really liked it. I don't know if there was something about it that I was just like, I'm not supposed to like it as much as I do. You know, I don't know if you've ever felt that about like a movie before.
Yeah, most of my preferences.
But damn, I loved that movie. I just couldn't. I can't get enough of it. I watched it a couple nights ago, even. You know.
What do you mean? Do I want to see a movie where King Kong and Rexy are on the same racetrack with the motorcycle from Akira and the freaking DeLorean? Yeah, sign me up.
I'm saying, like, there's that, and then there's like these really artistic and deep films. You know, sometimes I just want to watch a movie just because it's fun.
Number 1. This is going to be a controversial one. People are going to lose their heads over. Hereditary. You've raved about this movie since it came out. Hereditary, it makes you feel rotten because it explores things that you don't see in fiction all that much. It's really about the way that families process grief. They use this demonic entity almost as a metaphor for dealing with mental illness. It explores relationships and dysfunctional families that I think will hit close to home than to a lot more people than would typically come out and say it. It's an occult movie, kind of like Rosemary's Baby.
Or The Witch or something.
It's very fair comparison. And it's got that kind of slow, methodical pacing. But as somebody who is into film, and you have to look at the way that the cinematography works and the compositions. There's a lot of very Wes Anderson-esque symmetry in the shots, or if something is slightly out of balance, like everything is by design, and I have a feeling you can just rewatch it and deconstruct it forever. So it's a great movie.
All right, my number 1-ish. I cop out a little bit with this one too, but I had to be honest with myself. Honestly, it's Infinity War. It's Infinity War paired with Into the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry. I couldn't come up with just one.
I understand.
But I had to be honest. I was like, should I put something up there that's maybe more abstract that I enjoyed? But kind of the same thing with the way I feel about Ready Player One. I just love Infinity War. I just love the build-up. I love loving the characters in it. Spider-Man's one of my favorite probably my favorite superhero. And people were saying that it's as good as Spider-Man 2, which may be cliche, but I hold on a pedestal. And I was like, it's the best Spider-Man movie I've seen since Spider-Man 2.
I could have went in such a similar direction to you because every movie that you named on that list that I've seen are movies that really resonated with me. You and I saw Into the Spider-Verse, and I swear I've never seen a cooler movie in the theater. Like, just for cool points alone, Into the Spider-Verse is so dope. Like, the music's great. The really unique style of animation is something that we've never seen before. So instead of Sony trying to emulate what Marvel does, they decided to kind of carve out their own path. And I think that this is a very promising future for what we could see from a lot of these characters because they just laid them all out there. And I gotta say, one of my favorite lines of the year is when Spider-Man Noir says, "We don't pick the ballroom, we just dance." I was like, yes!
I won't go through all my honorable mentions. I think we actually overlap a couple. One that it's like 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's a huge shame, but was Kin.
I heard good things.
I loved that movie, dude. I think James Franco gave one of his best performances in that movie. Dennis Quaid was awesome in that movie. It's a shame that we get something that's unique, that people cry that Hollywood doesn't do enough of, and then when they give us something
original, not based on another IP.
No, it's stupid. So definitely did not get the appreciation it deserved. It may not be for everybody. Clearly, it's not for everybody. But kind of one of those things just resonated with me. I loved it.
Vice, Adam McKay's most recent one about Dick Cheney.
Yeah, I have not seen it yet. It came out December, right?
Very recently. Yeah. Very, very smart. Similar in style and tone to what The Big Short.
Yeah, The Big Short. Yeah. It's probably going to get an Oscar nod. I haven't even seen it, but it just feels like bait.
I can see that.
Another one, I won't go through all of mine, but Crazy Rich Asians, I thought was one of the best comedies of the year.
One that didn't get that same kind of acknowledgement, but stars a really strong Asian lead, and I thought was very cleverly constructed, was the movie Searching.
You got a lot of horror on yours.
Yeah, I do, absolutely. Searching was a really interesting way to use new media as a way to work it into the story and narrative, and I like that.
Did you ever see Unfriended?
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of when I saw the trailer. That's it for me. I had a couple more on there, but mostly just to talk about them if we had time. But we'll end it with that. Let us know some of your favorite movies of 2018. Did you like what we said? Did you think that it was way off base? Let us know in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.